All right, St. Louis, we're going to school today. Buckle your seatbelts. I don't think many of you are going to be ready for what I'm going to say. Stay tuned. Oh, yeah, it's time, St. Louis. It's time for us to go to another level, and I don't think we've been there yet, but it's time. I want you all to begin to understand that we're following deception. And the reason we're following deception is because the mind itself hasn't reached the perfect state of consciousness. The mind. We are literally encoding our entire existence. And based upon us not reaching that level of understanding, we've been following deception, false religion, false doctrine. In other words, you're walking into these churches and they're killing you right in the church. And the reason they're killing you in the church is because those that are teaching have always and also been deceived. The blind are leading the blind. In other words, your mind has not evolved strong enough to reverse the laws of thermodynamics, entropy. So as a result of your inability to reverse the entropy, you can only go one way, and that one way is to the grave. And as a result of going to the grave, you acknowledged and accepted that you're going to the grave. So as a result, you think someone's going to save you. And when you leave here, you're going to heaven. And those that are here will one day go to heaven. We must begin to understand that heaven is not where you think heaven is. Heaven is a perfect mind, a perfect sound above every sound. And as a result of reaching that level of perfection, you will be in heaven. And you can subsequently, unquestionably bring heaven down to earth. Because actually there is no physical earth as you know earth. All that's being seen and encoded or being witnessed is being encoded by your mind. Your mind is undeveloped. And the reason you're dying from different types of infirmities is because your mind has never reached perfection. The infirmities that are killing you, the diseases that are killing you is a negative sound. And that negative sound is gripping you before you reach perfection. And as a result of not reaching perfection, a negative sound has taken you hostage. And as a result of it taking you hostage, it's tossing you to and from. And as a result of tossing you to and from, it's enabling you to go out and look at the world through the eyes of a person that's sick. You're thinking, I'm not sick. I know somebody that's sick that's in the hospital. You don't have a clue. Literally, there is no physical hospital as you know hospital. That's all the mind encoding it as the hospital. Literally, there is no nothing. It's latitude and longitude, but the things that we created with an undeveloped mind cause us to believe that there is a physical realm. There's no physical realm. It's different levels of energy, density. We, unfortunately, are following false religion, false doctrine. You're waiting on Jesus to come back, Muhammad. You're waiting on all these deities, but yet you fail to realize you're following a lie. You must become what you're waiting on. You must reach full mind development, just like a computer that has the ability to extrapolate at a level which it never perceived it was capable of extrapolating. As a result, it can warp space and time at absolute zero and bring space at negative 273.15 Celsius minus friction and heat down to earth. We're in trouble. We're sick because our sound is depleting. We're sick because we're chasing after the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. We're sick because we're following false teachers, false doctrine. You're following those that are straight from hell, and yet you know that you know not they are, because you can't see beyond the place in which you dwell, and you're dwelling in darkness. I know many of you don't like what I'm saying as it relates to your pastors. Your pastors are blind. I'm showing your pastors their error. If the pastors had the 411, the coronavirus wouldn't have gripped us in the manner in which it gripped us. The black flu wouldn't have gripped those that came before us. The war, Russia invading Ukraine, and yet all these countries are sitting back waiting. The reason they have not the ability to do anything about it because they're still in the prison with those in which they're waiting to see what's going to happen. Once we change our level of thought, then that thought will be higher than all thoughts. And as a result, that sound will change and we will be literally seeing the world as it truly is. We're in trouble. But yet, we have now the ability to acknowledge and recognize that we were once in trouble. So now it's time for us to take it back by force. And the force is the strength of our mind. Stay tuned, St. Louis, Chi-Town, Alabama, Georgia. Stay tuned, the Bahamas, New York. Stay tuned. Many of you don't understand me, but that's okay. Look in the mirror. What I'm saying can also be interpreted by your mind once it reaches perfection. But if you don't reach perfection, you will continue to follow a trajectory to nowhere, and that's hell, darkness. You will continue to decay. You will continue to suffer unless you reach a higher level of awareness beyond space and time. Damn it, you must stop time. As you know time, and once you stop time, you will be able to see the world face to face, and as a result, you will begin to know that you have become what you've been seeking to find. It's not over. Are we gonna fight? And the reason we're gonna fight because we're stronger than we ever thought we were capable of becoming. I'm fighting for mine and I'm fighting for you. Stay tuned. You ain't seen nothing yet. No more than you think. Trust me. And I'm fearless. And I'm gonna fight for you. God bless. It's time.